So we'll get started here. It's my pleasure to now introduce somebody who is high integrity, who pays off her Blizzard bets in record fashion, which I appreciate dearly. She's terrible at betting, but she does pay up. So that is definitely a 10 out of 10 caliber person there, if you ask me. So all joking aside, happy to introduce Kristen Hill. She is a financial advisor at Ameriprise Legacy Financial Partners and our 25, 26, and 27 chairwoman of the board. Please help me introduce and recognize Kristen Hill.
So, real quick, the story behind that is I was up to bat. I play softball, women's league softball, and I had not batted very well that night. So Sam was umping, thankfully, because that's a thankless job most of the time. But anyway, so he was umping, and I said, I'm going to strike out again. And he's like, I bet you won't. And I said, I haven't played very well this year. So anyways, I ended up hitting it out into right field, I think, that time. And then I owed him ice cream. So I brought it back like 2 weeks later just to give it to him and say, you know what, it was paid. I gave him what I owed him. And then secondly, I don't know if anyone can tell, but I hate giving public speeches. And when I accepted this 3 years ago, Tim told me I would not have to do this. He lied. So I'm going to use some cards, and I'm sorry about that, but I want to say good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to this year's Toast of the Year annual celebration for the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce. Whether you're a long-standing member, a new face in our business community, or a valued guest, we are so glad you guys are here. This gathering is more than just a meeting. It's a celebration of the incredible work our local businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders have accomplished over the past year. It's a time to reflect on our shared successes, acknowledge the challenges we've overcome, and look ahead to the opportunities that lie before us. Our chamber exists to support, connect, and advocate for businesses that make our community thrive. And thanks to your dedication, innovation, and resilience, we have seen growth, collaboration, and progress that we can all be proud of. Tonight, we'll hear from some of our key partners, recognize outstanding contributions, and share exciting plans for the year ahead. But more importantly, we'll continue to strengthen the relationships that make our chamber and our community so special. Thank you for being here, for your commitment to our shared vision, and for the energy that you bring to the room. Let's make this a memorable and inspiring evening. So with that, I say welcome, and let's get started. I don't know why that's like screaming.
Figure it out. All right, thank you, Kristen. All right, next I get to have the distinct privilege and honor of welcoming our new city manager to the stage here. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him before, but I'm sure that he would be gladly to answer any and all questions that you have, just because after all, he's been on the job for 3 months, right? So I feel like he's probably got it all figured out by now, so he's definitely open to taking any questions that you might have right now. All joking aside, it really is nice to have Mr. Stager here, and I think I can speak on behalf of the entire city of Watertown to say that we're excited to have you here, and please help me welcome to the stage our new city manager, Mr. Alan Stager.
Thank you, Mr. Mooney. I might have a question. Does anybody know what the Viking score is? 7-0, I heard. Okay. Good. Well, this week was a pretty important and memorable anniversary in my life. It was 23 years ago on Monday that I relocated to Watertown, South Dakota permanently from Minnesota. Just like many of our businesses, I was a transplant into this community. It's the best decision I've ever made. All of you are here for various reasons. You may be the boomerangs who came back, or the people that have never left. But I think we all recognize that this is a special place. Special place with traditions that we never want to lose, and challenges that we're excited to stand up for. So with an anniversary this week, it was a chance to get a little reflective. And I started to think about change. I maybe spent 23 years here because I don't like change. And I really don't like change, but I thought change is necessary because without change, we can't keep and sustain all the important things that we treasure. And so as I step into this role with our community, I've looked back at some of the things that have happened over the last 20-some years. And don't worry, I'm not going to go through a quarter of a century worth of history here, but I do think just in the last few years, our community has done a lot. And we're at a prime position to do a lot more going forward to set the stage for growth for generations to come. We look at our population. Over the last decade and a half, we grew at an average rate of about 0.5% per year. The last 4 years, we've been growing at over 1% per year. That's a couple hundred new people to welcome into our community each year, each year. There's another important milestone that happened just a year and a half ago that didn't make the headlines. But the taxable sales base in Watertown, South Dakota exceeded $1 billion a year for the first time. And we've continued to grow, with this year growing at almost 8% over where we were at in 2024. That's pretty good growth. And with that growth, we've seen some change. We've seen a new form of government in our community. We've seen the leaders of some of our major businesses and institutions turn over. And we've been through those changes without really missing a beat in our community. We remain the same vibrant place we've always been. So I was asked to also talk about some of our challenges, and that's tough to do because I'd like to be an optimist about where we're going. And so I thought, over the last year or so, we've done a lot. But over the last decade or so, we've moved a little slow. And so if we have a challenge that's really stopping us, it's really learning how we can go much, much faster. It took us a while to build an ice arena. We've been talking about flood control for quite a while. But I'm confident that with the right change and approaching changes in how we drive improvements in our community, we can preserve what we've had. We can make sure that our future is bright and all of the traditions that we hold special stay with us. So as we look at a path forward, we've got some great paths guiding us. First of all, we can look at the H2O 50 plan. It's a very well-prepared plan, complete with data and action plans that we can look to as a community. I'd say this, regardless of whether you're somebody who's never left this community or you've been here 3 months, or you are boomerang professional coming back into the community, there's a role for you someplace in our initiatives to drive the community forward. So as we look forward and we look at what we've done with just a 1% population growth, imagine what we can do a decade from now if we're growing at 3% per year. We can be a community of 30,000 people. We need to find 3,000 more homes to make that happen. And we only need to grow at 3% per year to make that happen. And when we do that, new retail will follow. New educational opportunities will be with us. And we will have secured the community that can keep the values that we hold precious into our future for generations to come. Thanks for letting me share a few thoughts this evening.